to tell you guys about a fascinating story I heard recently. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Eyes of Loki, and in terms of its actual historical context. The Eyes of Loki were something that were supposedly discovered pre-civilization, millennial and millennial ago, thousands of years ago. And there was this person, we actually don't know if it's a man or woman, we assume it was a man, who created a system for altering how people perceived the world and sort of, in a way of speaking, changed the way they saw. And some people thought he was a god, some people thought that he had extreme powers, but many people now believe that it was some sort of hypnosis or some sort of systematic process that he went through to change people's opinions and the way they viewed the world. Some people wanted this power, they wanted to harness it, they wanted to use it for evil, they wanted to turn it against their counterparts, they wanted to turn it against the people who are against them and their enemies. Some people even say that this is the very process that was used on Hitler to cause him to have the warped view of the world that he shared. Now, I don't know if that's true. That's probably just hearsay, but that's how the story goes. I've learned a little bit about it. I can kind of demonstrate it on a small scale, and this doesn't work 100% of the time, so it may not work for you out there, especially on video. It's really hard to get this to come through, but I'll try to show you the idea. So we have two eyes here that are representing different views of the world. So one is brown, and one is turquoise, but really you can think of these as, good versus evil, or rich versus poor, or any of the other plethora of different ways people view the world. Republican, Democrat, however you want to see it. But we have brown and we have turquoise. So I'm just using colors to demonstrate the idea, but this could be moral concepts. It could be anything at all. So the concept behind this is pretty simple. You have the brown on the brown pedestal, you have the turquoise on the turquoise pedestal. And just by getting these eyes to look at one another, just for a moment, it doesn't take long, you do the process, and now the way they view the world has changed. And they now actually see the world through the other person's eyes. Think about how beneficial this would be. They now see the world the way the other person saw it before, good versus evil, rich versus poor, whatever it may be. They've swapped their perceptions. Now, you may think this is just a fluke, so let me try it again. I want you to see this is a real, genuine process that we're committing here. So we just put them towards one another. That's all it takes, only a moment. And now you have the turquoise back seeing the world the way they always have, and you have the brown seeing the world the way they always have as well. And it doesn't even take, you notice that there's no manipulation. You're not having to do any kind of special manipulation to get them to see it this way, or special manipulation to get them to see it this way. It's just in the perception and how they perceive the world. But you can imagine, once you have this knowledge and you're armed with this knowledge, you can really warp it. And you can take these visions of the world and change them into something completely new, completely different, completely unexpected. Like this person here, who now sees the world. Maybe they see, I don't want to say what maybe they see, but maybe they see things that aren't like they once were. Or this person here who now sees the world in a very different way than anyone else. And once you begin to see the world in a different way, it's hard to ever get your old perception and perspective back. And this is why they've tried to keep the Eyes of Loki concept hidden for so long, because think of what our government would do if it had this power.